Okay. Are we going?
Yep.
Continuation of video 12, how to run songs and run sermons using ProPresenter. So we're picking back up. If the slides are in the correct order, you merely follow along with the progression of the band, clicking on the correct slides. You do not click too early and you do not click too late. Paying attention is crucial, and knowing how the band progresses with the songs themselves is crucial so that we can create a distraction-free worship experience. While you are serving in this area or volunteering on a Sunday or Wednesday to run the computer, the way you're going to worship will not be with your eyes closed and your hands raised. It will be being attentive to the screen and attentive to the worship band so that we can indeed create a distraction-free worship experience. So we need to make sure that we follow along accordingly. Now, if we get to a portion in the song where the lyrics are not needed on the screen, but the background image is, you have two options. You can, if the slide has a blank slide, you can click the blank slide, which will take the lyrics away. Or if the slide does not have a blank slide, then you can click the clear slides, which clears overlay text. So again, you can see this. I have a selected text. So you have the background and the selected overlay text. You click clear slides to leave the background image but take away the slide. Once the song is done, if it's the last song, you can either open up the new song and click on the background image to fade into the next background, or if you are done worship, you can click clear all, which will go into the black screen and it would give you a nice fade out. If we are moving on to how to run slides for the sermon itself, we will have the sermon, which is usually a date found in this folder. And it looks like this. You can see that it's different from videos. It is different from images. It looks like this right here. You will click on that and you will have the navigation field opened up on this side that will have the sermon graphic, if applicable, and the scriptures that are going to be used during the service. Upon instruction, you will change this, but for the general basis of the rule, when the speaker goes up, you can put up the sermon graphic, which in this case was way in the desert. As the speaker calls out the scriptures, you will click on those scriptures and follow accordingly. At times, this will not be straightforward. You have to be paying attention if the speaker is going to be reading the scripture at that time or is just announcing which scriptures are going to be used. Make sure that you put the scripture up when it is supposed to be up. After it has been read, you can remove the scripture. Don't worry about following up and keeping the scriptures up every time the speaker goes back to them unless indicated by the speaker. Have it up once and then take it down. You can follow along by clicking on the next scripture, and then you can go back to, after the scripture has been read, go back to the sermon image or sermon graphic, leaving a nice clean transition and good display so we're not distracting people from paying attention. This does again require you to pay close attention to the flow of service and to the use of scripture so that we make sure we're not putting the wrong scripture up or scripture up at an inappropriate time. Also make sure that you don't just auto click on the next scripture, but you pay attention to what scripture the pastor or speaker is calling out to make sure the correct scripture goes up. If you put the wrong scripture up, don't worry about it. Just quickly and quietly go back to the image or to the correct scripture. If you don't make a big deal out of it, it won't be a big deal.